Hey everyone, Game Pizza Boy here, host of the Pizza Party. Welcome back onto the channel. Hope you're all doing fantastic today. I am back for another video. I was planning to get a video out very soon for Season 2, but I thought I was just saving that for later on once I have a chance to play more of it and obviously get ready to unlock the Highwaymen so we can get like a guide video out, so definitely stay tuned for that. But today, I just wanted to kind of go through a couple things about my thoughts on Ubisoft lately. This is more like a discussion situation. I want to kind of talk about like three things. Mostly one is about their recent drop-off of their own stock, as well as also two articles, which I will put in the link in the description below. I'll put both of them. One is from Games Radar talking about the delay of Assassin's Creed Shadows and what their plans are doing with that, along with everything that's been leading up to this point, and my thoughts on that, as well as also about apparently the Ubisoft's own board is actually launching an investigation into the company itself and their struggles, and there's quite a few things I want to kind of read out from Insider Gaming too. So again, this is just me wanting to read out these two articles, look at this stock price with you guys for Ubisoft, and kind of give my thoughts on a few things that has kind of been a little upsetting me a little bit lately right now that I just want to kind of go through if you guys don't mind. So that's just what I want to kind of focus on. Just want to give you guys my thoughts on it and just talk about it, because I just feel like I really need to discuss this. It just feels more better if I want to kind of get around to talk about this a little bit more. So that's just kind of what I want to focus on at the moment. So let's get right into it. Before we begin, as always, if you guys do enjoy the content here, make sure you hit the like button if you found this video fun and enjoyable. Comment down below and tell me your thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts about with Ubisoft? What's going on with them? I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you want to show your support to the Pizza Party, hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate your support as always, guys. Thank you so much as always for everything, and let's get right into the video. Alright, so let me kick things off to explain what am I talking about with the stock about Ubisoft. Well, if you go take a look right now at Ubisoft's stock price, you can see that obviously they are not doing really good. They actually have gone down pretty significantly, but once we read some of the actual like game aim like radar and the insider gaming little information about the stuff, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But as you can see right now on screen, you can definitely see that, as you can tell, it's not looking so good for Ubisoft as a whole. As you can tell, it's dropped significantly. As you know, Ubisoft has been in quite a lot of backlash for the past few couple years now, with many things that have been going on right now. Some lawsuits, some questionable stuff they've been doing in video games, some stuff that have been said before, like their quadruple A little mention, or the fact that we have to get used to not owning our games. You know, those kind of takes have been happening lately, of course. But focusing on this part right here, basically, it's because of like everything that's leading up to this point, Ubisoft is reaching a very all-time low that's causing them to lose a lot more money. Their stocks, their shareholders, everything like that is just, it's plummeting. The company is really reaching an all-time low, and there's definitely some signs of it once we read into some of the articles. Now, I want to get into one of the articles right now. We're going to start off with is Games Radar. Again, you can look at any of the other articles from anyone you want if that's what you choose to, but I'm going to look at these two. First from Games Radar Plus, and then obviously look at Insider Gaming. This one's going to talk about the situation about where it's leading to at this moment, where I'm seeing more recently signs of why it's such a big deal with the stock going down and why Ubisoft is struggling at the moment. So I will put the link to this article in the description below if you guys want to read it yourselves. But let me go and explain to you guys exactly what it says. So let me go and read it for you. Ubisoft says Assassin's Creed Shadows is the most ambitious entry in the franchise and was delayed last minute because, quote, we really want to make sure execution is flawless. So their reason behind the reason why this is happening, because apparently Assassin's Creed Shadows is actually being delayed, and they did a couple things right now. A lot of people are connecting this to more recently the Ghost of Yotei reveal, which is a kind of a spin-off sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. And obviously you can kind of guess where that goes, but there's a little more to that obviously than just that, even though it's pretty obvious in some ways too. But there's really some big realistic reasons for this, so I would go through this right now and read this with you guys. So let's go and read this right now. The delay apparently cost Ubisoft around 20 million euros. Ubisoft says Assassin's Creed Shadows is the series' most ambitious entry yet, and the last minute decision to delay it February 2025 was made to ensure its execution is flawless. During Ubisoft's latest investor call, CFO Frederick Duguet if I pronounced it right, shared some insights on the decision to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game was previously scheduled to release on November 12th, and according to Duget, it is currently feature complete and was close enough to being finished that Ubisoft was preparing to offer preview builds to the press. So yeah, the game was planned to come out November 12th this year, but it's now been delayed to February of next year. And because they want to do this, because it's their ambitious most entry of Assassin's Creed yet, and they want to make sure it's flawless in execution, and it is close to being complete by the sound of it, or it's about like pretty much complete almost. And they were about ready to get preview builds sent to the press to probably try it out, but they decided, I guess, to hold off it for obvious reasons, of course, which we're going to read right here. Quote, "As you might know, we are about to run previews so very close shipping," said Duget. "What we see is that there is, with additional months, the possibility to really further polish the game so that the experience is really flawless and perfect to deliver the fantastic promise of the most ambitious entry in the franchise. What we want to do is really to bring quality to the highest level possible. We really want to make sure execution is flawless." So their reason from Duget saying that they were ready to just get previews out and they were close to it, but obviously what they want to do is add a little more time to really polish the game further, so it's a better release at launch. But obviously we know there are some very big reasons to it. There's one that's pretty obvious, which I'll mention, but there's one and that is just the one to talk about the most, which I'll read right now. Duget later said the delay cost Ubisoft around 20 million euros, which I have no idea what that is in USD. I don't remember what that is. Pretty sure someone can answer that in the comments section below. Suggesting the company had a pretty darn good reason to push the game back a few months. That said, the delay of this game put to 2025 is in more direction competition with Sucker Punch's recently announced de facto sequel to Ghost of Tsushima titled Ghost of Yotei, and that isn't lost on Ubisoft. In response, and to an investor who pointed out the two game similarities, Duget emphasized Assassin's Creed Shadows' dual protagonist approach and different complementary gameplay as distinguished factors. Assassin's Creed fans have waited years for a game set in Japan, but Ubisoft thinks Shadow is great timing and part of the developer's natural evolution. So mostly the kind of reason what people are talking about is that the reason why the game got delayed was because of Ghost of Yotei, which Assassin's Creed Shadows basically is trying to take very much inspiration from Ghost of Tsushima. A lot of people are trying to say like it's better that way for the gameplay and stuff like that, and it's clear that Assassin's Creed Shadows is trying to copy off that. But obviously, a lot of people who are smart enough to know is that that's not really the case. That's not really true. I mean, sure, Ghost of Yotei popping up definitely could be an add-on to that, and I agree with that still. That I think Ghost of Yotei's announcement definitely just killed the mood for Ubisoft. It's like, shit. So they need to move it to hopefully make do, and hopefully find a way to get them more room to work on the game a bit more, and hopefully give them some time at least so that when that game comes out and then their game comes out later, at least they'll hopefully have a better shot at their sales, hopefully, to make up for that. The reason why was because Star Wars Outlaws released. So as you know, Star Wars Outlaws, which is another game that Ubisoft was working on and was developed by Massive Games, they are responsible for making this open world Star Wars game that a lot of people were hyped for, but obviously, despite the fact that there are plenty of people who liked it, plenty of people don't, the sales do speak, and unfortunately, it just did not work real well, especially the reviews. Assassin's Creed has been delayed until February 14, 2025, at least partly in response to the reception of Star Wars Outlaws. While the game is feature complete, Ubisoft said in a statement to investors, the learnings from the Star Wars Outlaws release led us to provide additional time to further polish the title. The company says that the Star Wars game's initial sales proved softer than expected, but in the wake of a number of updates in response to player feedback, it hopes that it will be a strong long-term performer. Additionally, Ubisoft is departing from the traditional season pass model with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and will give away the game's first expansion to everyone who pre-orders. Shadows will also be released on Steam day one, in contrast to time-exclusive launches on Ubisoft's own PC store. And not only that, also, Outlaws will later on be released on Steam too as well, with also some updates that will be working on the game too. This is an ambitious addition to the franchise, a rich experience that could be lived through the eyes of two unique protagonists. The developers added a message to fans, but we realized we need more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further on our key features. All current pre-orders will be refunded. Earlier this year, Ubisoft essentially said it was going to make good games again after a turnaround led by Assassin's Creed Mirage, with the intent to return leadership to the open world genre. Star Wars Outlaws launched to good but unspectacular reviews and certainly doesn't seem to have been the hit Ubisoft was hoping for. Here's the hope in Assassin's Creed Shadows could be a solid standard for all upcoming Ubisoft games to follow. Star Wars Outlaws director is a little disappointed with the Metacritic score, but plans to keep improving the game. So, yeah, as you can guess, right, the reason really why Assassin's Creed Shadows is really truly delayed, most likely, is because Outlaws sales were just not that great. I actually been looking forward to the game so much, and no matter how much a lot of people like it, and I know there are plenty of people who do, and I'm glad that a lot of people are enjoying it, but it's clear there are plenty of issues with the game. The game just, either way, whether you like it or not, the sales just, and the reviews just clearly said otherwise, and just because of that, it just did not hit the mark that Ubisoft was hoping for. Not getting the money they need very much to keep the company afloat. And there's a lot more to this, which we're going to be reading into right now, which I'm going to read from Insider Gaming right here. So I'll show you guys this real quick. And that is the one here from one Tom Henderson over Insider Gaming. Ubisoft's board is launching an investigation into the company's struggles. So I want to read this for you guys right now. It has been announced that Ubisoft's executive committee and the board of directors will launch an investigation and review the company. The news came via a financial statement and update, which include the delay of AC Shadows and the announcement of that Star Wars Outlaws underperformed. The statement read, "In the light of recent challenges, we acknowledge the need for greater efficiency while delighting players. As a result, beyond the first important short-term actions undertaken, the Executive Committee, under the supervision of the Board of Directors, is launching a review aimed at further improving our execution, notably in this player-centric approach and accelerating our strategic path towards a higher performing model to the benefit of our stakeholders and shareholders." Finally, let me address some of the polarized comments around Ubisoft lately. I want to reaffirm that we are an entertainment-first company creating games for the broadest possible audience, and our goal is not to push any specific agenda. We remain committed to creating games for fans and players that everyone can enjoy. Okay, well, that seems kind of iffy to me when I hear that like that, because again, even though they state that they're doing this for the broadest possible audience to work on and make sure their games for fans and players, then why is there so much monetization in your games? So like EC Valhalla has something like that basically. Why is there so much cosmetics that are like in a store that you force that upon people? Why are you forcing the idea about adding a season pass into single player games and stuff like that? Why are we having so much of that content being locked behind paywalls and stuff like that every single time very much, and creating almost the same gameplay loop all the time? Sure, I know they're king of open worlds a lot right now, which is good. I like that, but you gotta at least try something fresh and new. I mean, at least with XDefiant, it's at least trying to be like an FPS and nothing more, and that's why I enjoy that game a lot, and it's trying to be like, you know, a little bit like that completely. There's also a video right here if you want to go watch this right here about this, but I'm not gonna watch it, of course. But anyway, at the time of writing, Ubisoft stock has decreased to 1142 euros. Well, right now it's obviously a little bit lower than that, as I read earlier from the video, and has drastically fallen these past few months. Last month, Insider Gaming report noted that XDefiant was at risk of losing its much-needed post-launch support after dwindling players' numbers, and following the release of Mild Star Wars Outlaws launch, Ubisoft's stock price fell to a near 10-year low. Speaking with current former Ubisoft employees, I am told that the move was inevitable and the writing was on the wall, as many Ubisoft studios have been struggling due to poor management. While I've reported on some of these issues in the past, Insider Gaming will have more depth in report in the coming days or weeks. So yeah, anyway, Ubisoft basically as a whole is really in a predicament right now. They are being investigated by their own board about everything that's happening into the game, to lately how the business has been not really booming as well. Star Wars Outlaw underperforming. Shadows now resulting in this is getting delayed. It's not going to be released on Steam day one instead of being just exclusive to their own little service. And also now all that pre-order bonuses and season pass will no longer be a priority as seriously much, which means a lot of people will be probably not to spend a fantastic amount of money a lot. And even also showing as the stock price, it just shows how pretty poorly it's going right now for the future of Ubisoft, with it just reaching low and low and low, which this is where I want to kind of talk about my thoughts on this. So let me go ahead and give you guys everything I need to tell you about for sure as a whole, and explain to you what do I feel about the future for Ubisoft, and also something specifically with XDefiant more specifically. I mean, as you know so far, like, I've been really enjoying making my content for XDefiant, doing those faction guide videos, and I have been having a good time playing the game here and there. It's been honestly wonderful. It's really enjoyable, and I still believe for a future that we can hopefully see much more bigger fun things if Ubisoft can just work on it as possible and take care of it all and try to make sure we can learn from them and hopefully make it better for the future for the games that we play. Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, and the Tom Clancy franchise, and the Rabbids, and Rayman, Just Dance, and all the franchises you can possibly imagine. Even also XDefiant. I love XDefiant. I've been enjoying it so far, and it's been fun making a lot of content, and just seeing this just makes me terrified for what the future is for this game as well as others. We're just getting into Season 2 finally, and we got Season 3 and Season 4 planned out ahead right now, as well as the Year 1 roadmap, and we probably got plans for Year 2 very soon as well, if we can. But if it ends up leading down to this point where if this goes downhill for Ubisoft and AC Shadows cannot make up for what it is, then this could result in basically a lot of games, including XDefiant, being, like, most likely cut of their content, or things being rearranged of the content, or most likely cancel and shut down as a whole. And that could actually happen to XDefiant, as people were speculating possibly that they could, like, by Season 3, if they don't get what they need, they could just cut their post-launch content. They could cut it all off, they could stop it, they could shut it all down, and XDefiant will, well, truly be dead for sure. And there will just be no plans for the game, and that will just be unfortunate, because a lot of people, definitely including me, have been enjoying this game, and we really want to give it at least a chance. But there is issues that need to be fixed. The netcode situation, content we're still waiting for, a lot of other fixes and patches, more and more new weapons, and getting ready for the next factions. So, and you know, it's just, there's a lot of things that Ubisoft's got to make up to us, for us gamers and us fans. And hopefully the best things will get better, but even I can't truly say that, oh, it is, because even I can see the writing on the wall for real that things are just not looking good for Ubisoft. It's showing that they're doing this because I think they are now realizing they got to do something right, very for sure. Otherwise, they'll just lose all chance to catch up and everything like that. So this is exactly where I think it's leading down completely. I think it's just going to continue on to where it's going to put the entirety of their company at risk unless they do take action on the stuff. And that's where I think they're now going to have to realize they're going to have to listen to what fans are asking for, or listen to what the shareholders and the investors are trying to state, what they're doing wrong and what needs to be done. That everything they have led to has just only been nothing but a mishmash of trash and other related issues that has plagued the games they release, as well as their company and every single person who's worked on it, the devs, the executives, everything like that for the future. But until then, we don't know what's going to happen for sure. We just can only just hope for the best. Maybe Ubisoft will listen and they might actually get better at it, so who knows. But anyway, guys, that's going to be my thoughts for everything that's going to be about the entirety of Ubisoft and their predicament. If you guys have any thoughts you want to discuss with me about that, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to discuss this with all of you guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to show your support to the Pizza Party. I do really enjoy making content as possible with these games, and I do hope that the best things will get better for sure, especially for XDefiant, because I've been enjoying the game a lot, and I want to see things get better soon. So here's to hopefully a brighter future for their company, hopefully. And if not, well, I guess we'll all watch as the ship sinks and goes down in a blaze of, not really glory, but a blaze of pretty unfortunate shame, unfortunately, I would say. So hopefully that will never come to fruition, but I can't bet that on my own words. I can only bet that based on what we see as the time goes on for the company. Anyway, thank you guys for joining so much. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm your host, Game Pizza Boy, host of the Pizza Party, and I will see you guys next time. All right, my friends, take care.